Okie dokie. Actually, I don't know if my audio is working well, so I will double check my audio. In all, I'm trying to stream more regularly because I got very positive feedback. Like 20,000 people watched the previous stream. Obviously, because I was streaming Devin and dropping some alpha. Today there will be less alpha, but we'll still have fun anyway. And I pinged some folks in the Latent Space Paper Club. I don't have my regular in-person crew, but if you're in the Latent Space Paper Club, you have the StreamYard link if you know where to look, and you can come by and join if you want. But I expect today to be mostly pretty short and focus on one paper just because there's not that much time for me to code. I'm just going to be reading, and maybe reading will be interesting. So I think today was a fairly heavy launch. I think there are a lot of noteworthy things to go over, but I just really wanted to make sure that I read this thing from Reka, because I think they're probably the most interesting foundation model company that isn't widely well known yet. At least if you're not following super closely, like some of you are if you're watching this live. What is Reka Core? Reka Core is our best and most capable multimodal language model yet. It has been a few months. I think Yite said it was 4 months since they got the GPUs for this. And they are advertising multimodal capabilities. It's just effectively what Reka has been about since the start. They showed the body problem with some comments. So that is just showing the scene. I just had a viewing of Three Body Problem, and this is the first episode. So pretty cool. Like I like that it's describing this very, very well. And also it's a video, it's not an image. And that's something I think Reka is trying to advertise as part of their multimodal capabilities. Like it's natively video and natively audio. And that's qualitatively different than, for example, audio transcribing to text and then understanding the text, or qualitatively different from snipping video at 1 frame per second and chucking that into a multimodal model. So they're trying to derive some differentiation between Reka and GPT-4. So we don't have to watch the full video. You can see their Twitter for that. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, then they showed off some code generation capability. They liked Devil Seaworth, obviously bringing over some actors for Game of Thrones. Very cool. I like that it was identifying a promotional photo. That's interesting. I don't know that this is a promotional photo. Okay. Anyway, yeah, they. So here's where I talk about the supporting multimodal inputs, including image, audio, and video and audio. And they specifically say that GPT-4 and Opus only support image, while Ultra and Pro support video. I think this is being very generous to Gemini. I've actually tried Gemini Video. It's slow, and I think arguably what it does under the hood, it just splits the video up to images. Who knows? Maybe Vic's doing the exact same thing. They are ex-Googlers as well, so I don't really know about that. Does well, blah blah blah, and like that. What I'm most excited about is the tech reports, and that's what we're here to study. I think also I would like to focus on what Yi said about the tech reports. So maybe I'll go over to AI News and look for my own highlights. It's really nice doing these notes because then I have my own short list of stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So it looks like I didn't link it, but ML. There. This is the one. Okay. What highlights should we look at before I look into the paper itself? First of all, he already won our hearts with the tech reports having no information and promising to reveal some information. So here's what they do choose to reveal. Edge and Flash are outrageously strong 7B and 21B models. Is this, yeah, okay, so Flash is 21B. That means Core is bigger than 21B. It's pretty significant. They're trained on 4.5 to 5T tokens in total. Where did they get those tokens? Interesting. they've improved significantly. How did they improve? We don't know. We discuss an internal human eval workflow, prompt distribution, and core for model development and auto evaluation. We describe our infrastructure setup for training large models, quantify node failures, and report loss curves for training on models. Aside from hardware lottery, that's a reference to the John Frankel paper. We also show how this affects node stability over time. Actually, no, that's not the John Frankel paper. This is the Sarah Hooker paper. Once we were told our cluster became less stable because there were big guys moving around the data center. Okay, fine, whatever. Core approaches, frontier class models like Claude 3 and GPT-4V, Claude Opus on third-party evals. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. That's all the marketing stuff. Let's actually get into the report. We introduced Reka Core Flash Edge, series of powerful multimodal models. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, if you have access to the comments, I can read your comments, by the way. And so if you want me to focus on specific things, I will read them. And if not, I'll just try to make this like a nice, tight 30-minute stream session. Oh, here's the price chart. I was looking for this price chart. I didn't see it. Yeah, I've done a version of this price chart before for Haiku. It's interesting Haiku is not on this chart. Why is that? maybe this Haiku. Does Haiku have an MMLU score? Claude Haiku MMLU. Oh, is Haiku too cheap compared to this? No, this should. Yeah, Haiku might be too cheap. Huh. Okay, Haiku is 0.5 blend. Yeah, it's too cheap. And what's the MMLU? 75. Oh, bro, you left out Haiku because it makes you look bad. Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, good to know. I think it'll be a hot take if I just do this. Oh, fuck. No. Okay, so if I do something like this, and then I go, and I go 75.2, this will be, let's just call it here. There we go. Oh, I probably have like a stream tweet for this thing, so I should probably just put the link to the stream to it, right? Okay, there we go. There we go. Chuck it in there. Done. All right, you can keep reading. It's just all fun and games, guys. Not really serious. All right, go. Let's look for details and alpha. Okay, eval's great, fine. Where to show? Ooh, static non-cherry picked. How do you non-cherry pick a showcase? What do you mean non-cherry picked? Of course this is cherry picked. What the fuck do you mean? Okay, I would love to go through all these, but I'm not here to do that. I'm here to actually dig into tech and learn stuff. Reka Flash, Reka Edge were 5 trillion, 4.5 trillion. Yi did mention in a tweet that the reason Edge has 4.5 trillion is simply because the training run failed at 4.5 and they didn't restart it. So they should have both at 5. I feel like there's a bigger story behind we're too lazy, therefore we didn't restart it. Because like training an additional 500 billion tokens would have taken like an extra week. So that's not probably the whole story. 25% code, 30% STEM, 25% web crawl, 10% data. So what is that? Um, 25% code, 30% STEM. What is STEM related data? What the hell is that? Web crawl. This is probably the single newest edition because we have no idea what this is. 10% math. STEM is math. This is frustrating. Tricky says, damn, chat is dead. Yes, chat is dead. What the fuck, guys? Don't passively watch. Actually talk. Do you care what Reka is? I don't know. I think chat's dead maybe because people don't even know what Reka is. If you don't know, it's your fault, not mine. It's complete skill issue. Reka is a foundation model lab that is emerging to be on the level of at least Coherent and Anthropic, and maybe challenging Google and OpenAI. Okay, so does this add up to this does not add up to 100. There's still additional unaccounted for 10%. So what is that? And then I also wanted to do some math around, let's say they have 5 trillion tokens. So this is this times 1,000. So they have 500 billion math tokens, 1.2 trillion code tokens, 1.5 STEM tokens, 1.25. So this is actually low for web crawl. You can definitely get more web crawl from that. I think they've filtered it a lot, and that's fine. Code is a lot. Yeah. I mean, probably the most interesting one is code and STEM, which I'd love to dig into. Math, potentially, it's synthetically generated, but the way they phrase it is has some relation to math, and they're hand adjusted using signal from a small number of small scale ablations. I'm gonna meet Yi next month, and I'm gonna try to dig into this a little bit more because I think there's a lot of fascinating stuff here. Okay, what else do we know? Knowledge cutoff. There's a typo in knowledge. 7B dense. They're not releasing the size in tokens of core. Okay. 15% multilingual. And train on entire Wikipedia. All wiki on 10 bags. Priority 1 languages: German, Chinese, Japanese, French, Korean, Spanish, Italian, Arabic, Hindi, Indonesian. P2 is Indonesian, Vietnamese, Thai, Czech, Dutch, Finnish, Bulgarian, Portuguese, Tamil, Persian. Yeah, I would say all these kind of check out. Nothing super strong stands out here. Separating Indonesian and Malay is weird. I know that they are very, 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 very close. And that's all I got. Maybe the same could be said for some of these others, but I don't know them as well. Basim from YouTube says, how do they determine these percentages for training data breakdown? Vibes. Yes. I have asked many language model trainers this, and none of them can give me a straight answer apart from just vibes. Like a lot of it's monkey see, monkey do from other models, but also, I mean, the classic scientific answer is they did small scale ablations, right? They look at the loss curves, stare at it from different mixes, and do a whole bunch of tests before doing the big run. And once you decide to, by the time you've got to the big run, you've already experimented with different proportions of these things. One thing I would say is also not mentioned is how many epochs they run on each of these things, right? So I think, for example, in maybe like the GPT-3 paper, they actually talked about the number of epochs they run on each data set. So just because they have 25% of the data set on code doesn't mean they ran it only one time. Let's look at the GPT-3 paper. And if we look at data set, right? So they will have such a thing as weight in the data set. And this is effectively what they reported to us, what Reka reported to us. But then they have different epochs. And they ran 3 epochs on Wikipedia, 3 on web text, and then less than 1 on Common Crawl. What can I say about that? I mean, I've seen GitHub and Wikipedia go up to like 8 epochs. That's very aggressive. I don't think anyone wants to go higher than 8. And yeah. Siddharth says, "What are we doing?" It says on the title of Siddharth. I don't know. Can you not see the title on YouTube? We're reading a paper, and then we're doing side quests around the paper, and I'm responding to results. But yeah, we are doing the Reka core paper today because that was a very notable release, which I wanted to make sure that I spend some time on, and because I'm talking to Yi next month. And I think it's also like it's just a super underrated model lab that people are kind of sleeping on. If you're in AI, if you're like in research AI, you're definitely not sleeping on it. But everyone outside in the sort of YouTube hype bubble probably will sleep on this. And so I don't really care about like making a name in like YouTube or something. But to me, this is just a form of accountability of me reading the papers, you reading along with me, and by the end of it, we'll know some things. Okie dokie. Architecture modeling. Yes, this is the actual probably biggest thing that Reka is kind of pushing. The classic GNOME Chaugier stack, meaning not just decoder only, it's encoder decoder. Oh, it can also invoke function calls. Yeah, because why not? It uses Swiglu, rope, RMS norm, GQA. It's also similar to Palm, which Yi worked on, but without parallel layers. I don't know what that means. Unfortunately, my knowledge of Palm isn't that good that I can say what parallel layers means. Reka Flash and Edge use a sentence piece vocab of 100K. Yep, that's exactly the GPT-4 tokenizer. Does that mean that Reka Core does not use that tokenizer? That's interesting. We add Sentinel tokens for masking spans. Extra ID 0. And other special use cases such as, what is a masking span? What the hell? What is that? All right, since we're being AI first, let's do what is okay. So Jason Fang says probably parallel attention plus MLP. Okay, doesn't seem too controversial, but why did they not do that? Sam says thinking is when you block multiple contiguous tokens. Okay, so why? I love Roberta, which is a paper I also have not read. Jason Fang says UL2 objective for predicting masking spans. Yeah, I mean, I guess I knew that, but okay, fine. This is not a notable technique. I mean, it's just okay. Oh, but it's other special use cases such as tool use. Okay, I'm interested. I'd be interested in like what special tokens you can add for tool use. Yeah, probably this is like a well-known technique. I wish they cited a paper that would help with this, but I guess it's beyond the scope. Pre-training uses a curriculum. Okay, hang on. We have a question from Siddharth. Do you see a big foundational AI company like OpenAI calculate on over code generation train on even more code bases? Yes, they haven't launched yet. I know who they are and I know who they were. When they launch, they will be on the podcast and we will talk to them. Yes, that something I mentioned in my January recap is how it's weird that I think it's not my January recap. I think it's my December recap. December 2023 recap. So, what are the major battlefronts? Major battlefronts are data wars, GPU wars, multimodality wars, RAG and ops wars. Yeah, you will notice I do not say that there's a code generation model war, even though there's companies like Replit. What else? Replit. Yeah. There's companies like Cursor, Find, Replit, Codium, CodeGen, Hugging Face, all making code models, all of them. And everyone's like, yeah, new code models. And then they don't talk about them ever again. And mostly that's because GPT-4 is so much better at code. So everyone just uses GPT-4. But this is not a serious battle in a sense of like, none of these are having that much traction beyond their own individual company products. And it's just kind of a way to market, like find, always markets that they have better than GPT-4 for coding for Find. And then the question is like, okay, like, is this like a more serious model beyond that? It's not obvious that any of these have had traction beyond that. I will go to bat for StarCoder. I think StarCoder has had traction beyond that. It's the only one out of all these that I've seen any mention of outside of their immediate company. So that's interesting. So yeah, check out that the 4 Wars post if you want to see what I think about the foundation model battles. Okay, Magic, sure, a lot of hype, but like I cannot evaluate them based on like 2 tweets and a blog post. So yeah. Yeah, there's also the Stack V2, which was released with StarCoder V2. Okay, keep going. Blah blah blah. Oh, Sam, it looks like you're here. Oh, hey Sam. Sorry, I didn't see you there.
Yeah, I'm snooping. Thanks. This is a really cool walkthrough. I'm curious to know more about this paper. So thanks.
Yeah, me too. It's one of those like I think they're right calling it a technical report because it's not a research paper. It's mostly just advertising how great they are and how you should pay them money and join them. But we get what alpha we can because they're at least honest about the fact that tech reports with no information are kind of boring. So they're trying to do something that slightly different than the typical marketing PDF. They have a technique. So they have 8K context length for standard models. Flash and Core have 128 for long context models. They can extrapolate to 256, but not beyond. They pass needle in the haystack. What does pass mean? Where's my green graphs? Everyone shows the green graphs, but here they don't. For long context tuning, in addition to instruction tuning data, we synthesize, synthetically create supervised fine-tuning data using our own suite of models, but conditioning on long documents found in pre-training corpus using a technique we call reverse instruction tuning from long documents. What does that mean? For long context training, in addition to conditioning on long documents found in pre-training. Okay, I think I kind of get it, but I don't know what the algorithm would be. Sam, do you have any? Does this evoke any thoughts for you? References.
I'm making a sandwich and just getting this through osmosis as you're going through it, but I'll be back soon.
Okay, so I personally have thought about this in the context of RAG tuning, which is a thing I have researched in terms of combining RAG and fine tuning. Like at a high level, seems to make sense. The devil is always in the details, and that's exactly the details that they're not sharing. So, too bad. Move on. But this is another place I would highlight and quiz Yi on. Honestly, this is for me. This is interview prep because he's promised to talk to me. So I better read all the stuff that he writes. Okay. Mixture vendors. I'm sorry, I might cough start. Mixture vendors have a peak compute being approximately 2.5K H100s, 2.5K A100s. Peak number of clusters is 6. About more than 90% of a compute came online in mid-December 2023. Reka Flash and Edge were hundreds of several weeks. The computing process was relatively smooth, very few loss bytes, very aggressive learning rates, even for much larger models. Models trained at the edge of stability turned out stronger. What the hell is that? I did see a commentary about this. So let's see what he says. These are parameter norms of 2 runs with different learning rates. It's interesting to see that a lower learning rate does not mean you just go to the same point at a slower space. Yeah, I mean, anyone who understands that, gradient descent happens on a very sort of choppy gradient should probably understand that. So what is this? High learning rate descends very fast. Low learning rate ascends. Okay. High learning rate goes up and down, but still descends, and low learning rate just generally trends up. Yeah, this is like very, very interesting for learning rates. Okay, cool. To make things more interesting, I didn't start from 0. They both start from the same checkpoint, restore parameters, and restore optimizer state. First steps differences could be attributed to optimizer EMA, exponential moving average, but then they clearly find their own path. Okay. Hey, Vibu, you're awake. What's up, dude?
What's up?
I'm just doing paper reading because I feel like it. Also, I found my Texas, so
Nice.
I was like, I have to. I actually wanted to live stream at 10 o'clock. I was like, fuck, I haven't found my taxes yet, so I filed it in 1 hour.
Okay,
yeah.
that was me literally at 10 o'clock too.
Why do we leave these things so last minute? Like I could have done it at any point in the last 2 weeks, and I was just like, I just kept putting it off.
Same, and then
It's
I
really
waited
bad.
till 10.
It's really bad. It's really bad. I mean, like, I think this is the last year I get to do that because this is the last year I had W-2 employment. Yeah, going forward, I have a complicated employment relationship.
But that's good. You have to do it with an accountant. It'll hold you accountable.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, it's not that bad. You pay them a few $100 and they do it. But like, I'm used to filling out those forms. Okay, so we're looking at this tweet that was cited in the tech report. I did see some discussions about this, where basically you want to have as high learning rate as you feel comfortable, because low learning rate means you learn not just learn slowly, but sometimes you actually don't gradient descent at all. I don't know if this is like related to anything that you've read. I mean, I know, like, I can also see the opposite, right? There's such a thing as high learning rate gets you into this valley where you don't descend at all. Are you familiar with this stuff?
Yes, traditional learning rate stuff. Basically, if you have your learning rate too high, you won't descend. But also, what is this paper? What are you reading over?
Okay, I put it in the description. Can you see the description? Sorry.
No.
Oh God. All right. Fine. Here. Okay. Is this the best way to share this? I don't know. So I put it up on the screen. Now everyone can type it in manually, but just do like Reka Tech Report. Just Google Reka Tech Report. You'll see it.
Okay.
For those, we're 30 minutes in. There's 783 people watching. Which, like, this is ridiculous, by the way. Like, when I'm on YouTube, maximum 50 people. YouTube 5 people right now, but on Twitter 780. I mean, okay, I'm way bigger on Twitter than on YouTube, but still, like, this is fucking ridiculous. People like to watch on Twitter. So for those who are new, we are reading the Reka report today because Reka is a very underrated model lab that is now releasing GPT, quote unquote, GPT-4 level models with a small team of 20 people. They're less than a year old, and they're competitive. They're maybe not at GPT-4 Turbo level, but or they're not at Claude 3 level, but they are GPT-4 March 2023 level, which is enormous for a new company and a new startup. And also like just very, very like I think this is how you want to release models today, right? You want the small, medium, large, and then you want as multimodal as possible. You want function calling, you want code generation, you want math ability, you want multilingual. And they just check all the boxes of like a mature model lab. Like this is what you want. So now, and then also Yi, who's the sort of chief scientist and chief researcher of the thing. He also led UL2 and Flan and Palm at Google. He is also committed to some form of transparency. So he was like, tech reports with no information are kind of boring. Therefore, I'm like, okay, there should be some alpha reading this thing. It's not going to be just a standard PDF rehashing marketing points. So that's why I'm reading this paper today. Because because I am going to be talking to him for the podcast. So that's also fun. So yeah. Siddhar said, is GPT-4 the best vision model out there right now? I don't know that. There are vision benchmarks.
I think it's still pretty on top. Although I don't know if like Gemini Pro and whatnot have been benchmarked, but there's a pretty decent gap between open source. Like I was playing around with Lava 1.6 and then running the same queries. Not crazy benchmarking against GPT-4 V, but there's still quite a gap.
My sense is that Lava, because it's an adapter model, it will never be as good as GPT-4. Just don't even try, right? Like, yeah, they're just different things, and it's okay to not be GPT-4 level because Lava is just a different thing. Yeah. What is the leaderboard for vision?
I think it also depends on the task. Like some of it is structured output OCR benchmarks. Some of it is just like natural image understanding. So
but there's got to be like a no. That's too midwit.
Yeah.
That's too midwit. You got to be like let's do simple average of the top 5. This is MTEB, dude. This is so okay. Yeah, I should ask RoboFlow because I'm very friendly with them. I don't know what the vision benchmark is. Sorry. G4 is definitely up there. Yuna says, I'm trying to do text extraction using DFL and seeing the result is not consistent. Models are extraction. You are expecting too much out of an LLM. You should use OCR models. You should use I think text extraction depends what text extraction means. You need to read more on OCR as a skill issue.
Use
okay.
OCR.
So sorry. Let me go down to the rest of this tweet because I'm trying to just internalize what they say. Okay, so this guy says, who is this guy? Okay, he's at DeepMind Gemini. Presumably they worked together when Yite was at Google. He says, always gunning for the highest possible LR, not a fan of lowering LR to get a buttery smooth loss curve. My stance, models trained on the edge of stability come out stronger. Admittedly, it's like walking eggshells for massive models, but the payoff is totally worth it. Okay. August 20, so he tweets this in July. 1 month later, Yi says, I trained a model with obnoxiously high learning rate and exploded in my face. I want to blame your tweet for this. Mustafa says, pinpoint the root cause, fix it, keep going without smashing the learning rate. Then just get ready a fun front row seat to the mesmerizing show. Are you still there, Fibu?
I'm still here. I thought you were not here. Seems like you lagged out. One of us is having connection issues.
Okay.
Okay, I hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know. I see like 1 bar of connection on my side, even though my Wi-Fi on my laptop is perfect. The StreamYard is having a problem. But Seem says
my Wi-Fi laptop's perfect. Stream struggling.
Yeah. Is adaptive learning rate considered in any of these foundation model training, or is it just go big or go home? They're all adaptive in some form, right? That's what the optimizer choice should be, right?
There's also learning rate decay, warm up, all that stuff.
Yeah. So they're all adaptive. At this point, there's like 5 hyperparameters to adapt the learning rate. Yeah. So this guy Mostafa, the reason I picked up on him today was because this tweet was cited in the post in the footnotes, and this guy found out to his pleasant surprise. For reckless neural network training, I'm going to add him to my high signal list so that he gets indexed, because obviously this guy's good. Okay, let's keep going. Figure 3 shows the training loss for the Reka core. To improve the I/O of our clusters, especially for scalable training with multimodal inputs, we use the Ceph file system. I think that's a Google thing. I'm not sure. For distributed scalable data storage across nodes, which improved I/O substantially but came with maintenance overheads. Cool. What is the Ceph file system? And in the meantime, I think there's a Jason Wei tweet about this curve, especially this spike. I don't know why people lose sleep over this, because if it's that aggressive, you could just keep trading a little bit more and see if it goes back down, right? So I don't know why people lose sleep over that.
Losing sleep over training loss curves that's meta though, because like you're running all these GPUs and spike bad, and then you stay awake.
Spike bad, but then it goes down. Like, how long did that last?
I know, exactly, but that's why you can't sleep, because burning GPU hours and then spike.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe you need a policy on like, okay, how long do you let the spike run before you actually get paged, and you have to stop the run and see what went wrong. I don't know. I feel like if you're as pro as they are, then then you don't actually lose that much sleep. So Ceph is from Red Hat. It seems to be pretty established and well known. What's the history of Ceph? Ceph was written in 2004. Okay, and then seems to be gaining adoption with Linux Foundation and replacing some other competitors. Cool. And then the main things are object storage S3. Okay, so it's S3 compatible. It is distributed in some kinds of way with some daemons. Yeah, I think these are the main details that I care. Like, so it's open source, object storage, block storage, file storage on a common distributed cluster foundation, completely distributed operation without a single point of failure, and scalability to exabyte level and freely available. Does not rely on any other conventional file system, directly manages HDDs, SSDs with its own storage backend Blue Store and exposes a Pollux file system, replicates data with fault tolerance using commodity hardware, Ethernet IP, and requiring no specific hardware support. I mean, this is like the king of S3. Open source S3. Cool. Large scale production Ceph deployments in starting. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, this looks like the industry standard for this stuff. All right.
There's also like distributed IPFS databases where that's also where some of these foundation model like data sets are stored across. And then I think even like Hugging Face Trainer and stuff, they like support streaming that in and all that. But it's been a while since I've looked into this stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I've heard mention of this. I thought it was a Google thing, but apparently it's not. So that's all I know. Okay, let's try to blast through this, because I know like it's kind of late for both of us. Generally, we find great unreliability for GPU nodes. Yeah, so this one he blogged about. I've read this blog before. Gives you some idea of the difference between Google infra and NVIDIA external infra. We report the average number of node failures across 4 anonymized providers as shown in Table 4. Okay. Table 4, average number of node failures on a weekly basis across 4 anonymized compute providers Since node failures depend on number of nodes, we spread estimated failure rates. Okay, so provider B is excellent, but few chips. Provider A is also pretty good for the number of chips, right? These are rates. Actually, A is the best because they can provide high scale and like the numbers are still pretty low. Like C is 10x worse than A.
This is like an interesting chart though. Like provider B only early phase, provider C went to stable phase. They all got good at their stable phase. Like
Yes,
yes, but
but
provider
also
A,
per week.
true.
Yeah.
But does that not mean like they switched off of early stage? Like for provider C where they had like 20 failures per week, then they went to stable phase? Like what does per week still mean? Okay, anyway.
Yeah. They were early and then handover. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I mean went down. But also I think this is somewhat expected when you start a new like provider cluster. They'll kind of put you in that early phase where like stuff is meant to not be as stable before they figure out what your capacity demand is, and then they like swap you over. But don't know the most about that.
Yeah. Okay. I know that Yi also mentioned that this was a chaotic and stable phases is apparently a three-body problem reference. Yeah, I haven't got to that part of three-body problem yet. I only just watched the first episode. In general, we determined that a key factor influencing the difference was whether the cluster was actively used for distributed training by previous customers. Not really useful info, just kind of nice notes. Okay, post-training. Wow. So we already skipped pre-training. That was pre-training. We looked at data, we looked at hardware, and learning rate was high. That's all we know about pre-training. Okay.
Hey, that's more than we get from most other pre-training.
SFT and RLHF. Instruction tunes. Okay. For multiple epochs using strong regularization. SFT. Train on multi-dimensional data sets. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say shit. Their priorities are tool use, function calling, and web search. I feel like tool use and function calling, I'll probably die on this hill. Like these two are the same thing, right?
I think they're the same thing. At
And
some
then
level.
web search is a special tool. So these three are the same thing. So, but obviously that's probably.
Although I don't know. At some level, you can get good function calling, but that doesn't mean you have tool use. Like sometimes it just won't use tools, but they're all basically the same thing.
Yeah, but maybe they just have special tokens for each of these things. Okay.
Well,
collect data using data collection companies provided with the UI. Wow, it's amazing that this is so classic. Like there's no, like all of them have to do this like external data collection UI thing. The software also supports annotating for individual point-wise quality and also side-by-side evaluations. Annotation software supports images, videos, text-only prompts. This should be open source because why is every lab building this by themselves?
I think these are pretty basic like softwares though. They're like very not fancy, could be built like pretty quickly, just like annotate like basic UIs. But
yeah. I like
I
if
think
they're
it gives
open
away
source,
too much though. Right? Like if OpenAI put away their like annotation UI, well, you know what they ask people to do. Which I don't know how much they're sharing.
They say a lot. I think the GPT-4 paper might say it.
What they paid alignment people to judge.
Not
I
paid.
think you're right.
Not
yeah,
paid. They just show that they show the UI.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the end of every report. Maybe not GPT-4. Okay,
GPT-4. 100 pages of nothing. 6 pages have already got us more alpha.
Yeah, I think GPT-4 Vision may have it or something. Anyway,
Okay,
so I'll keep going. Base model evals. Okay, so we got 5 pages of alpha, and then now we're on evals.
Stretch.
Eval. Amazing. Okay, cool. Anything weird here? I remember Reka Core being soda on VQA V2. And then like not quite soda on all the others, but like still relatively decent. Yeah, I would say I think people like VQA. People mostly use VQA V2, but the people in computer vision hate VQA V2 because it's quite flawed. I think Hugging Face may have commented on this. Either Adept or Hugging Face. I think it's Adept. VQA V2. The flaws in the benchmark. Is this the one? Okay. Yeah, here. Okay, VQA V2 is flawed because it says here, sorry. It says, what type of foods are in the image? Fish. Full use answer is fish and carrots. VQA V2 scores 0 because the answers are hot dogs, sausages, and healthy. Oh,
Healthy.
So VQA V2's reference answers are wrong, and given the correct answer gives you 0 score. Basically, it's mislabeled. And then OK VQA, same thing. What instrument is the toy bear playing? Snare is the right answer, but you get a zero answer because you say drum. This one's more excusable because drum is snare is a type of drum, so that's okay. But this one's a clear mistake. Yeah, so Adept has been saying that VQA V2 is quite flawed, and I've heard the same thing from Hugging Face as well. So I think people are looking out for like a better one or like a fixed version of VQA V2. Okay. Table 5 reports comparisons of blah 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 blah. Oh, they don't add sonnet here. Yeah, we talked about this here. So if you take the marketing intro of Reka's first page on the technical report where they put cost with MMLU, and you grab the haiku MMLU, you kind of put the cost up there. Haiku just destroys. So Reka is like the same performance, but like way more expensive. So that's why they hide haiku. Okay, chat model evals. We conduct a blind evaluation with human raters. No, that's nice. I think usually people just do MT bench, but this is the right way to do it. Given that the number of models in our eval is higher than 4, we collect multiple such annotations for each prompts, being a different subset, the pairing models, and then we compute ELO scores following ASCO. This is Amanda ASCO. She does a lot. We design our eval data set to cover a diverse set of prompts. Okay. So they made their own evals. Huh. I feel like coding ought to have some subsets. Data processing, reading comprehension, classification, extraction, summarization, rewriting, translation. Okay, cool. I've often wanted like a list like this, and just to keep in mind, like here are how people think about LLM capabilities, in a small, nice enough list. Siddharth says
they didn't subset coding though. Like,
yeah, they should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And
definitely
also,
should.
I feel like math typically gets its own category outside of reasoning. But
Yes.
I mean, at some level, it's still good to see how they think of evaluating this stuff. You know, they did quite a bit on their own, like their own UI for their own preference ranking, their own benchmarks, all that.
Yeah. Oh, they have a distribution of prompts. Let's see. Coding with Vision 7.7. Yeah, this is for eval. Whatever. Okay, Elo, great, amazing. So what do we get from this? They think it's better than Opus in human Elos. Oh, that's cool. This means that potentially Reka can potentially beat Opus in LMSys, because they were just introduced to LMSys. Yeah, this is a very good chart for them. Very, very good. RIP Fuyu. Oh no, it's so bad.
That's a long RIP.
Oh,
That's insult to
fucking
injury
brutal.
to add it back on here. They also shut down their experiments. Adept was running experiments where they'd have like browser
Yeah.
automation stuff. They killed that at the start of the month.
Well, yeah, I have some non-public info about that one. Sam says, any idea if distribution problems anyways? No, we don't know that. Yeah, we don't know that. Yeah. LMSys has LMSys is just kind of, my impression is just whatever people choose to throw at it. So yeah, we don't know what the results are.
They released a subset of their
Yes, they did.
data from LMSys, and it was kind of flawed, wasn't it? There were a few holes that they had to poke with it, where they themselves said that like their preference data is biased. I think someone made a routing classifier on it. Forgetting who, but
What? That's awesome. Yeah, let me know if you can find it.
I think it was Chip. Let me double check. And then yeah, I'm pretty sure she made a router with that data set and then reached out to them, and they're like, "Oh, the data's flawed in some way." I'll pull it up, but let's go through paper.
Yeah. Okay. I can't find it. Okay. Cool. I'll keep going. We find that Reka Core outperforms all models such as G34V. Great. Reka Flash does next. I mean, Reka Flash outperforming. This is a 21B model. Right. Reka Flash is 21B. Outperforming Opus. That's pretty huge, dude. That is pretty huge. Not by much, but enough. Okay, text only chat evals. Okay, so they did multimodal first before text. Don't know why.
I think it makes them look a little better. I don't know how
Oh
much.
yeah.
Like I don't know how much I value these multimodal evals benchmarks and stuff, and I see why it's first.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially after just looking into it and seeing how you can get a 0 on some stuff by just like not having the word hot dog. So, they played the game.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Whatever.
Text only, they did good too, though.
Huh?
Text only, they're doing pretty good also in text only evals.
Yeah. Decent. Yeah. I mean, look, like they're legit, right? Like everyone knows OpenAI, everyone knows Anthropic. They don't know Reka. Like for a nobody company. I mean, they're not nobody because like everyone who knows like Yite knows Reka's legit. But for Meta, Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, and then Reka just like coming up here that's pretty legit as long as they didn't play games. Okay.
Wait, so this text only chat eval is an ELO score based on their own testing, right? And then they're putting Flash, their 21B above 3.5 turbo.
Where you here?
Interpreting right?
Here? Yeah.
Here. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I missed the first few pages, so
Yeah. Look, I mean,
yeah.
what can I say about this? Like, this is 0613. I mean, I do think that they have better data. I do believe that. This is trained on 5 trillion tokens. GC 3.5 Turbo was probably nowhere near that. Plus, they had, I'm sure they had other insights on the mix of data. So this is just simply more modern model, whatever that means. That's all we got.
Yeah, they've changed up scaling models, overtrained for infra optimal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the same chart. It's the same numbers, just represented as a chart. I don't know what. Again, RIP
Colors.
Fuyu just like is like sucking wind right now. Cross-lingual. Why? I don't care. Fuck that. Okay. Long
Wait,
context.
going to these charts, do you know if there's benchmarks for Gemini 1.5 Pro? So when they listed out as a chart before, they just said Gemini Pro, but when you look at the colorful chart, it says Gemini 1 Pro 1.0. So it's not 1.5. Like here, you see how it says 1.0, but if you scroll up, they previously just called it Gemini Pro. I think it's a multimodal one. Or yeah, both of these. But I didn't know if this was 1.5 earlier, which I think is also odd because Gemini 1.0 series Ultra was significantly better. Oh, it's 1.5 up there. Interesting, interesting.
I think that's maybe just laziness to type in the full name. I don't know. I don't
Wait,
know,
what
man.
do you
I don't
know?
know.
Well, no, it says 1.0. It says the full name below, but 1.0 is significantly worse, which is why I'm just like, why are they swapping? 1.5 Pro might not be benchmarked though. So anyway, I'm overlooking.
Yeah. Not the focus here. Okay, I'm just gonna jump straight to long context. This one they did claim some some specific training for this. So we use internal benchmarks in two domains: movie plots and terms of service contracts with context in the ballparks of 100K tokens. Both data sets are Q&A tasks where testers answer questions in a long document. We compare Claude, Haiku, and Sonnet. Why not Opus? Okay, so movie plots, they did great. TOS, they did not as great compared to these guys. Okay, cool. Table 12 reports results on long context question answering. Where's table 12? Oh, that's it. Oh, come on, show the evals, dude.
Do you want to explain her on Haystack again?
Okay, medical reasoning.
Yeah.
Whatever. Don't care. Okay. Reka edge results. Other 7B. Okay. So here they're saying we have the best 7B. That's cool. Look at that. Yeah, they have.
Oh, the math is significantly better than the others.
Math? A human eval?
Or, no, GSM AK.
Oh, yeah. Also, I feel like there's this might be a rush to publish before Llama 3. So imagine, Friday rolls around and Llama 3 is out here beating these guys. So you have to claim.
They gotta. I mean, I respect it. Also, I mean, it's still impressive. No, like.
Yeah. Still, yeah.
It's interesting how all these 7B benchmarks are 0 shots, but then when you look at like the technical reports from like GPT-4, it's like 64 shot were better than Gemini, but casual 0 shots here.
Yeah. I mean, MMLU is still 5 short, so whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then 21B. We are. Yeah, interesting. They call this. There are not many models around the same compute class. So they compare. So basically, they're like, we trash all the 20B models, so that's not even interesting for us. We must compare with 70B, unknown. I think this is now known to be 22B, and then Grok is how much? 320.
321. Yeah, Pi Day 314.
So I think this is mixture of experts. This is also mixture of experts, huh?
No. I thought Mistral Medium is not the mixture of experts. It's a single 22B that the bigger mixture of 22Bs is based on, or something. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm unclear. Because I feel like, what is Mistral Medium? What is Mixtral MIX the 8 times 22B. I saw some commentary around how their results were very, very similar to Mistral Medium. So like it could just be a checkpoint I don't know, or it could be upcycled. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not in the loop on the rumors around that stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think I'm on old rumors, so no point.
We need to version these rumors. Anyway, Reka Flash is doing great. No surprises because they're telling us about it. Okay, cool. That's it. Oh, there's breakdowns from MLU. Really much historic versioning. Oh, okay. They don't tell us the difference between these versions. Okay, but we are on Reka Flash 1.5 and Reka Edge 1.5. Cool. I think that's it. Yeah,
Is it?
citations. Okay. Look, not the best. I definitely think overpromised on the amount of alpha that they dropped. Let's look again one more time at the at Yee's tweet about what he wanted us to pay attention to. So he said, Edge and Flash are very strong 7B and 21B models. They train on 5T tokens. They've improved a lot. They discuss our internal human evaluation workflow. Discuss meaning there's like 2 sentences about it. Prompt distribution, they published one table with some numbers. How we use core for model development and automatic evals. I don't think I picked up on that one. We describe our infra setup, quantify node failures. This was a nice table. We spent some time on this one. Report loss curves. They showed one loss curve. Node stability. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's a frontier model. That's all we're going to get out of these guys. Okay, questions. Sam says, I'm not really familiar with math benchmarks at all. Any off-the-cuff explanation of GSM-8K versus math? Vivo, do you have an explanation? I don't.
I don't have a crazy explanation. I just know they're both math. But I know DeepSeek 7B, they did a great math variant where they crushed it on math at 7B. I'm curious how these two compare.
I should really be using God mode on this, but I'm lazy and I'm streaming. Math is this. Blah, blah, blah. So math is considered. Math is geometry, p-calc, and intermediate algebra. GSM-8K focus more on algebra and pre-algebra. So, okay. GSM math is interpolation. GSM-8K is just variable names, scaling values. So basically, and which one did Reka gap in?
I think it was
GSM-8K, right?
GSM-8K, yeah. It was a bigger gap for GSM-8K.
Yeah. So basically, GSM-8K is the easier one, and Reka learned the easy one.
Wild. Although GSM-8K, I thought it's more okay. So they say GSM-8K in parentheses reasoning. Is it like word problems too? I thought that's why it was like one of the better benchmarks, but it's quite bad at math still. Oh, surprisingly, actually, it's worse than Gemma 7B at math.
Huh? Yeah,
it's worse than Gemma.
Whatever. I mean, I think we understand that math is hard. Yeah, I don't know. Like plus minus one, I don't know how big this data set is, but like that's within the margin of error for me. Like they're kind of, they're kind of there. So this is GSM-8K. It looks like it's some grade school questions, grade school math. That's GSM. So doing math in a language model context, yeah, that's cool. All right, let's take a quick look at math. Oh God, math data set. Is there a paper for the math? Oh, okay, New York 2021. Okay, at least it's by Dan Hendricks. This is the same guy as who did MMLU. Oh, this is the math data set. Okay, now you see the difference.
Reasoning on MMLU. Oh. Yeah, not gonna lie, I just used GSM-8K as my math benchmark. Also, like what is the benchmark if the other one, like if Llama 2 7B gets a 2.5 and Mistral gets a 12.7? That's rough.
It's good. It just means we have a harder benchmark to try things on. Okay, cool. I think that is the last question. Anything else you want to talk about, look for on your mind? Otherwise, I can call it.
I missed the first 2 pages, so I will go over that on my own. But
yeah,
fun read.
Mild, interesting stuff. But no, I just wanted to get this paper reading in. I also wanted to make sure that I set up the paper club for Wednesday, because I think are we switching to Zoom?
I don't know. Are we streaming it? Are we switching to Zoom? What's the move?
It's just like I cannot have people spending like 15 minutes saying that the Discord screen share doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's just very distracting. Oh, Reka has a Discord.
Figure it out.
Ooh. How many people joined the Discord? Where's the Reka Discord? Am I banned from the Reka Discord?
You're banned.
Oh. Looks like Vivo just dropped. All right. I will figure this out later. Thank you for joining. We are at 1,200 people, which is fun. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.